Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this evening's meeting of the Normal Human Relations Commission. The governor has issued a disaster declaration related to the public health concerns caused by the statewide COVID pandemic. As chair of the Human Relations Commission, I've determined that an in-person meeting is not practical or prudent because of the risk of exposure to the COVID-19 virus stemming from an indoor gathering, and that a remote meeting is in the best interests of health, safety, and welfare of the commission, staff, and general public. I now call this meeting to order at 5:18. Jason, if you could call the roll.
Sure. Commissioner Tamala?
I'm here.
Commissioner Brown?
Here.
Commissioner Henson? Commissioner Ryburn?
Here.
Commissioner Figueroa? Commissioner Cosberg?
Here.
And Chairperson Williams.
Present. I'm not aware of any public comment, Jason.
No one's reached out to me. No public.
Okay. May I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes of August 18th, 2020?
I move that we accept the, go ahead.
I was doing the quick version, so moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the meeting minutes of August 18th, 2020 be accepted. Any discussion? Hearing none, if everyone could signify by...
I'm gonna have to call roll on this one as well.
Okay.
So back to it. Commissioner Tamala?
Aye.
Commissioner Brown?
Aye.
Commissioner Ryburn?
Aye.
Commissioner Cosberg?
Aye.
And Commissioner Williams.
Aye. Complaint update. Jason, anything happened on the complaint that you're currently...
Nothing new. Sorry to interrupt. Nothing new to report. We do have that one complaint set for a conciliation hearing next week. So I will have more information in the coming weeks for you guys, but as of right now, no new updates.
Okay. This is a great meeting for you, Ethan. Jason's going to go over the commission's role in complaints, so that'll be good for all of us and a good one for you. Unfinished business. Pandemic update and response. Normal is not in the best place. We're not in the worst place as far as new cases. The university is doing a number of things to get their numbers down, and we appreciate that. We're glad to have the students in the community participating, those who are being responsible citizens. We appreciate. The town of Normal does have a Mask Up Normal campaign going on. So I think that we will be, if you're available and interested in doing a little snippet, let Jason know and he can get you the information on that. Jason, I will probably come in, if not this week, next week, to do something. Since I need to come pick up my shirt anyway, I'll let you know.
Okay.
There continues to be a lot of information on, unfortunately, it's been a politicized matter. And so there are a lot of lawsuits out there, but I just want everyone to please stay safe and thoughtful, if not for yourself, then for others in the community and your loved ones and family members. National Police Brutality and Normal HRC's response. No new update. Jason, we can probably take this off until we do have an update. And then at that time, I'll ask you to put it back on the agenda, even though I did ask you to leave it on. The 2021 Martin Luther King Awards ceremony. As you're aware, Bloomington has moved forward with the planning, and I have sent an email to Chairperson Smith, and we will participate as needed. And I've not had a response from her. We've been trading emails, so I got an email from her saying that they had moved pretty far along in the process, that we were welcome to participate in the award ceremony. I responded that that is something that we did want to do, and I also requested that we have a conversation sometime within the next few months so that we're not in this situation again in 2022. Any comments? I think we've had plenty of comments on that. So I'm hopeful that, thank you. I'm hopeful that they will work with us again to do the online award submission. That seems to be working very well. And since it's already in place, I can't imagine that we wouldn't be able to do that again this year. So if you can start thinking of both adult and youth nominees, that time seems like it's always far away, but then sneaks up on us. Next up is the HRC email address. Jason and I tested it this week. It is up and running. What's the email address? I forgot.
It is normalhrc@normal.org.
Okay.
On the website now as well, instead of mine.
Okay.
The way it works is someone emails that, I get a copy, Janessa gets a copy, and then we respond accordingly.
That's a great way for us to be able to tell people how to get a hold of us easily. And that way, both the commissioners and Jason as our staff liaison are made aware of everything that comes in. All right. Last month, I'm sorry, we had a very long meeting, so we postponed Jason telling us about the complaint process and our role in it. So I'll turn it over to you, Jason.
Sure. As I remembered, I think I tried to give a broad overview of it, and so I don't want to rehash that needlessly today. But I will say that, as you're all aware, once a complaint is filed, goes through an initial review in the legal department to determine essentially whether it actually alleges an incident of discrimination. And so if it doesn't, then the legal department can kick it out at that point. Obviously, if that were to happen, I would explain the circumstances to the complainer and as to why it's being dismissed, and obviously facilitate them refiling it properly if that's the case. Assuming that doesn't happen and the complaint argues what's called a prima facie case of discrimination, then I take that complaint and I send a copy to the person or entity that's alleged to have discriminated against the complainer. Once that's done, they have some time to submit a response. Once that response is received, I again share that. Well, the respondent should share a copy with the complainer. If that's not done, then I'll facilitate that. And then at that point, both parties have given their first volley, I guess you could say, and the complaint is set for what's called a conciliation hearing. That's a confidential hearing that is held with just the parties and their attorneys if they have one present. Witnesses can be called, but essentially it is an attempt to come to some agreement between both of the parties agreed to that can dispose of the complaint and right whatever wrong may have been alleged. If the conciliation hearing is not successful, whether someone doesn't show or if no agreement is made, then it moves on to the next step, which would be a public hearing. That public hearing can be conducted before the entire commission if you choose, or it can be conducted by a third-party hearing officer. We have a number that we use here in the legal department for various administrative hearings, and so it's not a problem for me to have the hearing officer who's an attorney conduct a hearing. Depending on who hears the case, it's conducted much the same way before either the commission or the hearing officer, essentially, for all intents and purposes, a small trial in front of one of the bodies. And then based on the evidence that's presented, the hearing officer or the commission will make a decision as to whether or not discrimination occurred, and if it did, what remedies should be ordered against the respondent. And all of that, the decision and the remedies are all memorialized in the decision that's ultimately signed by either the hearing officer and ratified by the commission, or signed by the commission as a whole if they hear the case. So that's kind of the quick overview. I suppose maybe I could just answer questions at this point.
Does anyone have any questions? Okay, I do. It doesn't seem like that the commission plays that big of a role in the process. Is that the way the statute is written? Is that the intention? So for the conciliation meeting, I know we had discussed before that before a determination was communicated to the complainant, that somebody from the commission would review it and have the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Is that still part of the process?
So there is a means by which, if a complaint is dismissed for essentially failure to state a case or failure to allege discrimination, it can nonetheless come back for redetermination if one of the commissioners, I don't know if it's one or if it takes two, asks that the chair, bring it before the commission. So that's essentially, I guess, a second bite of the apple to save a complaint from being dismissed at the earliest stage. Does that answer your question?
I'm processing. So if I'm hearing you correctly, it is possible for the legal department to dismiss a claim either because there's no cause or it's not properly presented. Mm-hmm. And that determination can be made before the commission is made aware that a complaint has been filed.
I suppose I would make the commission aware that a complaint has been filed, and then if the legal department were to dismiss the case, I would inform the commission of that as well and share the reasons for that dismissal. And then at that point, it could be taken up by one of the commissioners or the chair to have that dismissal revisited by the entire commission.
We can discuss this some more offline. But
yeah, it's difficult to talk about in the abstract. It's easier if we had
a specific case or something.
Sample case to say this is what could happen. And, it might be easier to do it that way.
My concern is that one of the major responsibilities of the commission is to hear discrimination cases. And it doesn't seem like, based on the process you've described, that we have much of a role in that process. So that's my concern. That we can discuss offline and then maybe further clarify some things in a future meeting.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you for the update, though, and all the work that you are doing for the current situation in process. The conciliation hearing, is that something that a member from the commission can attend or not?
No, I'll be running it, so to speak. It is confidential. I guess my fear with having, the idea behind it being confidential is that both parties can have a frank discussion as to the allegations and what they're willing to do to remedy it. And my fear would be that if one of the commissioners who could possibly hear the case, if conciliation fails, they may be privy to some candid discussions that wouldn't come up in a more evidentiary hearing in front of the commission, and they may be prejudiced in what they've heard during the confidential settlement agreement.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, moving on to new business. We have the election of the chairperson and vice chairperson. I did not review how we're supposed to do this. I'm sorry.
Well, it can be as simple as someone moving to appoint or elect a chairperson, and they would obviously offer a name, then some discussion could be had over the merits of that, and then a vote can be taken. I think it can be as simple as that.
Okay.
I move that we keep the executive board the way it is. President and, chairperson and vice chairperson.
You want to add our names in there for the minutes?
Yes, Janessa Williams and Jay Tamala. How you pronounce your last name?
Close. Tumala.
Tamala, okay.
We have a motion on the floor. Can I get a second?
I second that.
Discussion. Starting with Jay, do you accept the nomination?
I do. It will be my pleasure. There's no question about. I am recommending you as a chair. There's no question about that. You're doing a great job. In terms of the vice chair, I was wondering if someone would be interested to take that position. Even if someone has a slightest interest, I'm willing to hand that baton to them.
Ben or Terry? I'm not hearing any interest.
Well, I'm interested in Jay doing it.
Second. Because I've done it before, so I mean,
Yes, Terry did it for many, many years.
Yeah.
That's how he got Jay and I.
Exactly.
in position. I will also accept the nomination. I don't know how you call for the vote. I don't want to vote for myself. Do we want to? Let's do them separately. Let's do vice chair, and then that way we'll be able to have a quorum for both positions. I'll vote for Jay if he'll vote for me.
So since
which is what the discussion was.
Terry, if you could amend your motion to elect Janessa as chairperson of the HRC.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we elect Janessa Williams as chairperson for the Normal Human Relations Commission.
I second that motion.
Okay. I will call the roll. Commissioner Kamala,
Yes, I
Commissioner
support
Brown,
that.
Yes.
Commissioner Reiber,
Aye.
Commissioner Cosberg,
Yes.
and Commissioner Williams.
I will abstain.
You ready? Are you ready for the second motion?
Ready.
Okay. I'd like to motion that Jay Tamala be elected as Vice Chair of the Normal Human Relations Commission.
Is there a second?
I second that.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Jason, if you'll call the roll.
Okay, I'll start here. Commissioner Kamala,
I abstain from voting.
Commissioner Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner Reiber,
Aye.
Commissioner Cosberg,
Aye.
and Commissioner Williams.
Aye. Motion carries. I thank you all for your continued vote of confidence, as well as your support, your ideas, the work that you're doing in the community to make the Normal Human Relations Commission more visible. That was the directive that we were given by the mayor and city manager. And I think that we have definitely done a good job these past several years of making that happen. From the backpacks that we give out to now having shirts so that we're identifiable, definitely is a commission that works well together, and I appreciate that. And Jay, I really appreciate all that you do in the community and working with me when I need to bounce stuff off of someone on a one-on-one basis, because there's the Open Meetings Act and doing it in a group would be inappropriate. So I appreciate your assistance as the vice chair. You have anything?
Thank you, Janice. Yeah, thank you, Janice. Likewise, I appreciate the opportunity that has been given and all the things that you've been doing, supporting to do my job. So thank you.
Okay. Next, we have the approval of the 2020 meeting calendar. There are 8 meetings scheduled. As in past years, we vote on the calendar, but if there's a need to add or delete a meeting, we can amend the schedule, but this will be the schedule that's published. Essentially, we don't meet in February. I think the reason we don't meet in February is because it's right after the awards ceremony. And so we usually do the debrief after the ceremony, which makes me think we should probably, we'll see what happens when we get to that point. Because I believe I've forgotten the date, but I believe it's after the meeting that's scheduled on the 19th. So we may need to add a February meeting, but we can cross that bridge when we get to it. We also don't meet in the summer in June and July, which works for, I think, all of us. And then we don't meet in December for the holidays. So any other discussion, thoughts, comments?
Yeah, I mean, the February, December ones are kind of weird in the sense that February, I mean, I can probably let go. I think, but the December seems to be, we're going to meet anyway because of to be able to review the nominations and finalize the awardees. It looks like that's going to happen, right? I mean, even though we don't have it on the schedule here, unless we wrap those by November.
And that rarely happens. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Ben, Terry, what are your thoughts on February and December meetings? Well, I guess we're talking about January, February, and December.
Just so you're all aware, December, the third Tuesday in December is the 15th.
Okay.
No, that's this year. Sorry. Let me go another year.
Oh no, we're still
It would actually be the 21st. So I don't know if that's too close to holidays for anyone, but 2021, December 21st is the third Tuesday.
And we could call a special, because that does seem pretty close. If needed, could we call a special meeting?
Yeah, I think we've had to do that at least last year, if not the year before as well. And so we can make that happen if needed.
Then I'm good with it the way it is, so we can call a special meeting if needed. Yep.
Okay. May I have a motion to adopt the 2021 meeting schedule?
I make a motion to adopt the 2021 meeting schedule.
Is there a second?
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we adopt the 2021 meeting schedule as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none. Jason, if you'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Kamala,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner Ryburn,
Aye.
Commissioner Fosberg,
Aye.
and Commissioner Williams.
Aye. Concerns and announcements. 2020 census. I don't know if you have been following the news, but the town of Normal is significantly behind where it has been in past years, and in past decades, actually. The response rate has not been great either. So anything that you can do to encourage people to make sure that they complete the census, you have until September 30th this year to do so. It's very easy to do online, 2020census.gov. From the university standpoint, Ethan, I know that the university worked with the census organization to capture the students who were living in university-owned residence halls and apartments as of April 1st, what would have been April 1st. There's some, we ran into COVID this year. But is SGA doing anything to reach the off-campus students?
I know that we plan to do it. It was something we talked about at the beginning of the year, but I don't know if anything was ever put in place. But that's something that we could definitely look into. You said we have to do it by September 30th.
Correct. And it's where you.
Sorry, my computer just completely froze.
Oh,
so
I think that was me. I felt like a cartoon character there for a minute. The census is supposed to be where you were living as of April 1st. So for students that were off campus, they probably were still had a lease, and that would be their address. The importance of students completing the census for the town of Normal, because that's how federal, state, and local dollars are divided up for different programs. And so if students are not counted in normal, then we don't get the resources that we need for the students when they're here. So it's not a commitment that students live here forever, but we need to make sure that we capture the population because it stays pretty consistent. So if you need any help from me, or if there's something I can do to assist with that, please let me know.
Yeah,
But that's really important.
Yeah, we had someone come and talk to us about it way last semester before COVID hit, and then now
And then COVID hit.
Yeah, and then everything's just been kind of COVID. And
yes.
Yeah, I'll bring that up at our meeting tomorrow night.
Okay.
If we can get something put together, like a video or informational stuff to students off campus.
That would be great. And let them know that if they lived in the residence halls last year, they've already been counted as of right before spring break, essentially, is when the university shut down for in-person learning. I've been told not to use the phrase shut down. The other concern that's not on here that I will discuss is the election. It is important you see a lot of advertisements and on different media about planning your vote, because this year it's going to be extremely important. Because first you need to make sure you're registered, which in Illinois is very simple. You can do that online. Then you need to figure out how you're going to vote. Are you going to vote in person? Are you going to mail in a ballot? If you vote in person, are you going to vote on election day? You're going to vote early, finding out those places where early voting will be taking place, as well as the polling places. There's a concern that many polling places won't be staffed because they're typically staffed by retired people who may have underlying health issues. So I know they are still looking for people to be poll workers. So Ethan, that's also something you could bring up at the meeting tomorrow. That would be helpful. I think they get paid, I want to say $75 for the day. It's in that range. And again, I will make the plea that students register and vote in normal, because that impacts what is happening here while you're here. So who's the mayor? You know why that's important. Who's on your city council? They're the ones deciding on the ordinances. And so it's a good idea. I can't tell people where to vote. I just want everyone to vote that's eligible. But to consider voting in normal while you're living in normal, essentially, for the better part of a year. Those are my concerns and announcements. Anyone else?
I have one announcement and one question. The one announcement is today is my 69th birthday.
Wow.
How about that?
Happy birthday, Terry.
Happy birthday, Terry.
Thank you. And
69, seriously?
69,
seriously?
Yeah, 69, yep.
Wow, man, look at you.
And the question I have is, Janessa, where are you?
At home. I have a virtual background.
I like that background.
Yes. I do a lot of Zoom meetings. So depending on my mood, sometimes I'm on the beach, sometimes I'm on campus.
And I thought you was in a movie.
Yeah. But if you're interested in that, all you have to do is go to, I just Googled free virtual Zoom backgrounds
Oh, okay.
and picked some I liked.
All right. Thank you.
And if you go on Illinois State's website, they also have Illinois State specific ones. So since I am a College of Business alum, one of them is the College of Business. So when I'm meeting with people from the university, I usually have that. That's usually my background. And the new entrance at the Bone Student Center, which if you haven't been in, and I haven't been since they completed it, but when I went in last semester, it was absolutely amazing,
I was in there.
unrecognizable.
I was in there last week. It is beautiful. I went to Tech Zone to take my laptop in and have them work on it. Man, it's a totally different thing. Yep.
So Ethan, you were here. Were you here before they started or during the renovations?
When I toured here, June, well, that was 4 years ago now. And there was under construction at that time. So yeah, I hadn't been in there for a while. And then I went a couple weeks ago just to pick up a check from the new DAO or Dean of Students offices. And it is crazy how different it is just in the last 2 years.
Yep.
Lots of light, lots of open seating. The whole goal was to bring the students back to the student center. So I think they've been successful with that. When the students are able to congregate openly without concern again, it'll be a wonderful place. I mean, just the number of outlets they have and plugins and everything is just great. Terry, what was your question? I forgot that fast. I'm sorry.
That was it. Where are you?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish I was somewhere that looked like this. You know, at this point, I would have been on 3 trips planning to go somewhere on my 4th. So
Right.
I am stir crazy.
Yeah, I hear you.
So happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I won't sing because I do like you. I have a terrible voice, but
that's okay.
we appreciate everything that you do for the commission, for the community. I see you've got your Sigma blue on, all that,
Yeah.
that the men of Phi Beta Sigma do in the community is always appreciated. So
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for your leadership. You're now the elder statesman of the commission. So
right. Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Happy to be here.
We're happy you're here too.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any other concerns or announcements?
I have some announcements, please.
Okay.
NAACP in the next couple weeks has several programs that I'd like to announce. The Educational Forum takes place this Thursday, September 17th at 6 p.m. And all of these are on Zoom. The NAACP Freedom Fund Zoom event is September 26th at 6 p.m. That replaces their Freedom Fund banquet that they would normally have, but unfortunately cannot this year. So it'd be good to attend that. And also the NAACP Meet the Candidate Political Forum takes place on October 1st at 6 p.m. So I would encourage anybody to log into those and view those at your pleasure.
What is the education forum about? Oh, I know. It's the prison to pipeline, the pipeline to prison.
Well, yeah, it's several local educators are on a panel.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I just got an email today about the Freedom Fund banquet with the Zoom login information. I don't know if any of you have that already, but I'll kick it out to everybody so you can get logged in if you want to go.
Thank you for doing that.
Yes. Any other concerns or announcements?
A couple quick things. Announcement perspective. For Better Tomorrow, YICU awards ceremony is scheduled for early November. So because of the COVID conditions, they are doing it online. I don't know, Janice, if you remember this or not. This is the organization that came to us to collaborate with us in Bloomington to handle the MLK awards. So the awards that they do are for youth, and for those youth, I think the age range is like 12 to 22. They recognize the youth that have given back to the community. So the nominations are open right now through the end of this month. So if you have anyone in the community that you would like to be recognized for the services that they have done to the community, so you can find the information on their website. And I guess perhaps I would share the email to the group so that you will have a copy of what I'm talking about. Yeah, so I think this is the one we attended last year in person. I think, Janissa, you were able to join.
Yeah, those pictures of, because your daughter was recognized last year. Wasn't that last year?
No, it was me.
Oh, that was you. For the work that you've done. Yeah.
For the mentor, as a mentor, yeah. Yeah, so I'll share that email. So if you have anyone that you would like to be nominated, you would like to nominate, please do so, because they would like to get a diverse range of nominations, and of course they don't want to miss anyone. I think they will call upon everyone who has been nominated, irrespective of whether they are the winners or not. But, okay. So that's one thing. The second thing is a question to Jason. Is our tenure like 3 years as a commissioner? Is that like a limit?
The tenure is 4 years.
4 years. Okay. Okay. Is there a maximum of one term tenure? Or?
No, you can keep going.
Okay.
Like Terry, I think he's just going to go until the commission's dissolved or something.
Yeah, I think you're right. Whatever comes first, huh?
Terry,
I dissolve with a commission.
Good catch, Jason. That I like that. That was good. Because Terry, you've been on the commission for more than 20 years, haven't you?
Oh no, not quite 20. I think it was 06, I believe. So how long is that?
14.
Yeah, 06. Yeah, before that I was a police and fire commissioner.
Okay.
And when they disbanded that group, I think I was on that for 4 or 5 years. So yeah. So it's been a total of 20 years for both commissions, yeah.
Serving your community.
Yeah.
We appreciate that.
Gotta do
Very
it.
Cool. Very cool. Very cool.
Jay, if you could send information to Jason so he can send it out, just so that we stay in compliance with Open Meetings Act.
Definitely. We'll do that. Yep, I'll do that right after my last comment. So I missed Ethan's introduction. So I assume that he's SGA representative?
Yeah, I'm the vice president, so I think that made me the de facto representative here.
All right. Well, welcome to the commission. Sorry, I missed the introduction.
Oh, no worries.
Very cool. Very cool. That's all, Jennifer.
Those are great announcements, and those are all great events that many of us were able to attend in person last year. Last year was my first year going to YICU, and it was an absolutely phenomenal event. So, and I want to thank the town of Normal for continuing to support the NAACP Freedom Fund banquet this year. And I've had an opportunity to speak with the NAACP president, and she also appreciates the support that the commission has made to the banquet this year. especially since it's not going to be in person, since it'll be virtual. Does anyone have anything else for the good of the order? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Terry, that's your cue.
Oh, I'm sorry. I moved that we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Second.
Second by Ethan. Any discussion? Hearing none, Jason will call the roll.
Commissioner Tamala,
Aye.
Commissioner Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner Ryburn,
Aye.
Commissioner Cosberg,
Aye.
and Commissioner Williams.
Aye. We will conclude this meeting at 6:04 p.m. Welcome, Ethan.
Thank
We
you.
look forward to working with you.
Yes, thank you.
And any ideas you have or suggestions that you think we can be doing, especially to better serve the university campus, please let us know. One of the things that we had talked about doing in the past was perhaps attend Festival ISU, but since it was virtual this year and all that other kind of stuff, it dropped off our radar, but that is something that we are interested in having a bigger presence on campus as well. So however you can, whatever suggestions you can have to make that happen, we will greatly appreciate. Welcome.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad to work with you all.
All right. Everyone have a good evening. Thank you
All right.
for all your
You
work.
too.
Appreciate
All
you.
right. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, everybody.
Well.
Thank you, Landre.